What tools can support students in creative and diverse idea generation? In this lesson, we'll talk about the Design Heuristics tool for idea initiation, development and redesign. The goals for this lesson are to introduce the Design Heuristic method, explain how the method was created and validated, and demonstrate the structure and range of the cards. We will also provide a small set of cards with different design problems for you to practice. The ideal scenario for idea generation will be the design spaces explored broadly and deeply for the design problem at hand. However, from our experience as educators, we know that students' exploration is often limited, and they have struggles knowing how to do the exploration more fully. Frequently, students fixate on their initial ideas, or they evaluate their ideas too soon. As a result, they limit their potential to fully investigate more solutions. To combat this, a variety of strategies have been proposed to help in idea generation. The method we will introduce to guide designers in idea generation is called Design Heuristics. Design Heuristics support idea generation throughout the design process. The Design Heuristics tool is built on the concept of heuristic, or rule of thumb, that comes from cognitive psychology. Heuristics, in this sense, are reasoning processes that do not guarantee a best solution, but often lead to potential solutions by providing a shortcut. The design heuristics are shortcuts that quickly lead to a potential solution. They are based on strategies observed in expert designs. By applying a heuristic to a new design problem, generating a new potential design occurs more easily. The design heuristic method addresses many of the common barriers we have mentioned in the previous two lessons that are known to affect idea generation. Each design heuristic is represented on a card. On the front of the card, the heuristic title is given, a short name for the heuristic, and a number out of the 77 heuristics. On this card, we can see heuristic number 76. Utilize opposite surface. There is an abstract image depicting the heuristic along with a text description of the heuristic at the bottom. Notice that this heuristic does not define specific ways to identify surfaces on a design, or whether these surfaces are physical or virtual. The way to interpret the heuristic for a given design problem is up to the designer using the card. So the same card may lead to different design ideas each time it is applied, or when different designers apply each card. On the back of each card, two product examples are provided which exemplify the heuristic in some way. On the right side of the card, the example presented is always a chair, to demonstrate that every heuristic in the deck can be applied to a given design problem. The chair in the example shows how the back side of the seat can include a storage area, thus utilising the opposite surface. On the left side of the card, the example is different for each card, illustrating that heuristics can be applied to a broad range of design problems. In this example, a shoe design includes laces that wrap around the body of the shoe to produce a better fit, changing how laces interact with the opposite surface on a shoe. From examining a card, the designer gains an understanding of the design heuristic. Then, they need to apply the heuristic to the design problem of choice. The design heuristics method is based on empirical analysis of designs. 3 primary studies were conducted to uncover the design heuristics: a case study of an expert industrial designer, an analysis of hundreds of award-winning products, and protocol studies of industrial design and engineering practitioners and students. Through these 3 studies, the set of design heuristics was identified. the developed design heuristics have been studied in various contexts. This final set of heuristics is not claimed to be exhaustive. Indeed, new heuristics are yet to be discovered. However, this set includes the most common heuristics evident in these studies of industrial and mechanical engineering contexts. The case study was performed with an expert industrial designer that had been practicing for over 40 years. This designer produced a long paper scroll of concepts for each design project as they worked over several months. Because the scroll captured the series of designs generated over time, we were able to analyse how the designer moved from sketch to sketch, identifying which design moves or strategies were most evident. In the award-winning product study, a set of more than 400 products were identified and analysed, with the goal of identifying the characteristics that made them especially innovative or creative. A description was written for each product, as seen, and the design move that led from an existing design to an innovative design was identified. Across hundreds of products, patterns emerged in multiple designs that were identified as design heuristics. In parallel to the case study and award-winning product studies, we examined professional and student designers as they worked on a new design problem. In this protocol study, we used a variation of one of the engineering grand challenges, the creation of a new way to cook using solar energy, to understand how designers developed these ideas for a novel problem. Through an analysis of the concepts and verbal think aloud data provided by more than 50 participants, we were able to identify design heuristics. The design heuristics method has also been validated in a wide range of engineering and design contexts, including classroom and industry settings. Design heuristics have been shown to increase the diversity of solution types explored, the originality of solutions, and the quality of designs that result. Further studies have investigated the use of design heuristics in team contexts and shown that group idea generation is facilitated by design heuristics. In particular, design heuristics have been demonstrated to be effective in classroom studies, including design project courses. In our studies, we have often observed that design heuristics promote more creative ideas, greater elaboration on ideas, and push students and practitioners beyond the obvious solutions. In the example provided here, you can see that the concepts generated with the help of heuristics are ranked highly, with 7 being the most creative, by judges who did not know the method used to create the designs. On the other hand, when the participants in our study did not use the heuristics and were left to their own natural ideation processes, solutions resembled existing solutions, or solutions that were more commonly identified in initial ideas. In a study with professional designers, we observed them work in teams with a set of 30 design heuristics over two-hour idea generation sessions. The design heuristics were effective in multiple ways. This first quote shows how the fold card prompted designers to think about current challenges with certain product elements. It then led to a discussion of potential solutions. This second quote describes how the same card fold led the designers to new concepts for other product components. At the end of this session, our surveys showed that designers credited the cards for many ideas that came out of the sessions, including at least 5 key innovations that they planned to implement in their new line. Also, the cards played a role in structuring the group ideation process, providing a central focus for group discussion. For your practice with design heuristics, we randomly chose 3 from the 77 cards. Please review each card in detail and take your time. Read through it first and examine the 2 example products on the back of the cards to get an understanding of how the existing products use these particular heuristics in these designs. Apply existing mechanism in a new way. Consider whether existing products or their components can fulfill the desired function. This can facilitate reuse of existing products, make the design process more efficient, and expand the pool of options. Here is the second example card. Utilize opposite surface. Create a distinction between exterior and interior, front and back, or bottom and top. Make use of both surfaces for complementary or different functions. This can increase efficiency in the use of surfaces and materials, or facilitate a new way to achieve a function. And here is a third example card. Convert for second function. Create multiple stable states of the product where each state defines a separate function. Transitions between these states can be achieved through rearranging, reorienting, and attaching or detaching components. This can allow multiple functions to be incorporated into one product. We'd now like for you to practice using the cards in a new design task. As an easy entry, we like to start with a simple design task where it is easy to be creative without worrying about technical aspects. Spend 10 minutes generating as many creative ideas as you can using the design task. Imagine that a new restaurant is opening and that is interested in unique designs. Your task is to design a way to dispense salt and pepper for this restaurant. Focus on new and creative ideas and generate as many as you can. Let's reflect on your process. Answer this question as you think back on your work. How did the design heuristic cards impact on your idea generation? If you wish, you can skip back to slide 17 to go over the design heuristics method again. Now we'd like you to apply the cards to a more engineering design task, the one you already generated for ideas, without heuristics. This time, try to generate solutions using the 3 heuristics provided to you. Spend 10 minutes generating as many creative ideas as you can using the design task below. Now reflect on the following questions. How did the design heuristic cards impact your approach to generating ideas? How did you use the cards? All one at a time? All at the same time? The fronts, the backs, the images versus the descriptions, same heuristic on each concept, one heuristic per concept, etc. In summary, using the design heuristic method can help introduce variation into your designs. Design heuristics are empirically defined based on designers' concepts for a variety of problems. Empirical studies validate the success of the design heuristics method in classrooms. The next module focuses on different ways to apply the cards in idea generation. Be sure to complete the activities for this module before moving on.